Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bifocal Naturalist. Kanha Shantivanam in Hyderabad has a mini rainforest. Imagine a rainforest in the arid region of the Deccan Plateau. The temperature at Kanha is a couple of degrees less than the rest of Hyderabad. And in the leafy lanes of Kanha walks our guest for today, Dr. Lalitha Dhareshwar. Dr. Lalitha Dhareshwar is a physicist, and she has superannuated from Baba Atomic Research Center as head of laser and neutron division. She has recently been appointed as an advisor to the apex body of NCSTC, whose main aim is to communicate science to the masses. Lalitha is also a trustee of the Indian Women Scientists Association. Welcome, Lalitha. A warm welcome to you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be with you, Vijaya. Yeah, I mean, it's an extraordinary journey for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Lalitha, I'm, wondering how a physicist like you walks the lanes of Kanha and is so deep into meditation.
Well, I think science and spirituality are, the two sides of the same coin. This is what I have realized in my life. And while pursuing science, it's the same kind of feeling, like that you are kind of trying to delve into the unknown and trying to find the root of everything in this universe. And that is what spirituality also does. What is the origin? What is the origin of myself? What is the origin of the life on the earth? Everything. It's very, very similar. And not only that, as a human being, I wondered most of the time as to what is my role in life. Where am I going on in this life? Is it only studying, getting good marks, getting a position, a job, marriage, and then children? Is that end, or is that something much, much deeper than that? And I was always on the lookout, and I was always attracted to spirituality from my very young age. And that's when, around my 41st year, when I was 41, I came across this heartfulness method. And last 34 years, I have been in this and going on, and I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the journey where science has led me and where spirituality is leading me. So that's how it is.
Thank you, Lalita. Not only you're on the journey, but you brought many people like us on the journey and gave us the opportunity to join you in meditation and visit Kanha. And above all, meet Daji, our spiritual guru. Thank you very much. Lalita, I want to know about becoming a scientist. Not many people those days became scientists. What is it that influenced you? I mean, you had any mentors at home and outside that you wanted to get into science?
Yeah, I would like to say that right from my, I think, ninth standard, I was attracted towards physics. I don't know why. I mean, I always felt that I must do study more and more of this. And added to that, my mother was a great influence in my life. I mean, she was a very free thinker and a deep thinker and very, very advanced for that time. I mean, in 1940, she was a graduate she did her intermediate from Rajghat, from J. Krishnamurti Foundation, and she was a great follower of J. Krishnamurti.
Uh-huh.
And that is how I think I came into science as well as spirituality. Both of them, they were kind of holding me on. And I must say that that is one thing. And there are many other influences in my life also. Should I tell you
Please,
something
please,
interesting?
please.
Yeah. So actually, it so happened that when I was in school, my home is very close to C.V. Raman's, Professor C.V. Raman's home in Malleshwaram in Bangalore city. And the school authorities once announced that we could all go. We used to wonder what is there beyond the high wall of Professor Raman's house. You know, it had a huge high wall. And we were so excited. And we went to his home, and his library was kept open for all the school children. And this was there every Saturday afternoon. And it became a kind of ritual for me to visit this library, take a book, and go and sit in the outside, in his huge garden and read books on science. Not just science, there was fiction, there was philosophy, there was English, so many varieties of books. And I was really, that was one of the most happiest time in my life, I would say. And later on, when I came to Central College in my college days, I think I was in the second or third year of BSc Honors when Professor Raman himself gave a lecture, and I attended that lecture on lasers. And that was the moment when I decided that I'm going to work on this, because the lasers had entered the field very recently. In they were only 2 3 years old when he gave
Uh-huh.
this particular lecture. Just they had
Hey.
come on the laser was discovered, invented rather,
Uh-huh.
just few years, 3 years before that. So
Really?
that was very, very exciting for me. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So that's how it happened.
That's really fascinating. But you're involved with Indian Women Scientists Association and several other organizations. How do you find time? And you're also very active in your meditation. You're a coach to many people, and then you're a trustee of Indian Women Scientists Association, also on the apex body of NCSTC. I mean, how are you contributing to society through all these organizations?
Yes, yes, that's a very good, nice question, which is very close to my heart also, Vijaya. Actually, when I was very active in BARC, I worked for 45 years, and we were very, very intensely involved with research. So our entire life was spent inside the laboratory doing research, publishing papers, attending conferences, giving lectures. And but many times I used to wonder, okay, I'm doing all this, but how is it going to help the society? How am I going to help society and give back to society what I have earned? Because whatever I have done in research, it is because of whatever support that public gave to that laboratory, isn't it? I mean, it's a government lab. Naturally, it is supported by the government money, which is given by the people. So I used to feel, there should be some way. But when I was working, it was impossible for me. But I mean, I think my prayers were answered. And when I retired, just after my retirement, I was a member of Indian Women Scientists Association right from the day it was formed in 1973.
Oh.
But I could not give my time very actively for that. I used to once in a way attend the lectures there. And I was asked in 2015 whether I would like to really contribute to a refresher course that they were planning on physics in Indian Women Scientists Association. And I was very happy and I readily agreed. And from there, my journey started. And till now, I mean, 9 years have gone by, and I'm all the time thinking how I can do it better and better and better. And since I think the main thing, you asked me a question, how do you find time and
Yes.
how do you find the energy? When you love what you do, some kind of energy is internally created inside you, and you don't have to look for anything from outside, but you become so much fulfilled and contented that it is able to drive you much, much better and take you further and further on this path, whether it is science or whether it is spirituality. I mean, I'm with a very big community in heartfulness. where the seekers are there, the trainers are there, and the people who are doing a lot of programs. And I have almost taken part in most of the programs, and the seekers also, and their lives become part of my life. I mean, my only intent and my only concern is how I can help them achieve much better things in spirituality. How do I make them understand what is really spirituality, the beauty of spirituality, what is a real inner, what am I inside, what is my inner being, and how am I to recognize that? This I try to kind of convey to these seekers, and that becomes my greatest, motivator, I must say. Yeah.
That's very wonderful. But you've done a lot of work in value addition and also in maths. You're organizing maths for children. You're working with students and you're also working in science with underprivileged children. I mean, there are three different things. One is value systems, the other is mathematics, and third is, bringing up the underprivileged children. Uh, I would
Yes.
love to know more about how you are
Yeah.
uplifting our youth and our children.
Uh, it so happened, Vijaya, many years back, my own children were very small. I used to wonder always, that in the schools they must have a value-based education system where the children are taught values. I mean, it's not that values cannot be taught, they have to be caught. They say the values
Oh,
are caught by the children. So they have to be, yes, they have to be
that's
exposed
interesting.
to values. Yeah, they have to be exposed to these values so that they feel, they start thinking about these and start wondering, I mean, how I can bring those in my life. And it was like, I was driven by that I must do it for my children and the children around me, and for my children's friends, and for the entire community in Anushakti Nagar. We were staying in Anushakti Nagar, which has 6 schools. So it so happened that Dr. Anil Kakodkar was the chairman of the governing council of the Atomic Energy Education Society. And once I went to him, and I had prepared a kind of a syllabus, a draft syllabus from right from KG to the 10th standard, as to how we have to teach them values, starting from core values and then expand it, every time, because the very small children cannot be taught very complex things, so they have to start with, and we started with nature, connecting with nature.
Uh-huh.
And that was the best part, because from nature the children can learn many many things.
Yes.
So and then slowly evolve it, and he liked it, many others liked. And then we started working on this syllabus, we brought out textbooks, and these textbooks were accepted by the Atomic Energy Education Society, and it was taken up for a few years in Atomic Energy Education Society in all the schools, in all the 37 schools across the country. But then, to for this to kind of continue, a lot of inputs are needed. So, which I could not do. I mean, I could not put in that much of energy. But this, I'm able to kind of help and put in my efforts in the heartfulness value education system, where they are teaching the not only the children but the teachers also, in faculty development programs. And what for school teachers, they have the Inspire program and so many of them. And I started taking part more in those, and that gave me a lot of satisfaction and contentment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what you were asking me is about this maths.
Yes.
See,
Maths
from my
Olympiad.
childhood, yes, I had a fear of mathematics, though I am
Really, I
at this
can't
stage.
believe it.
Yes,
I
yes,
can't
I
believe
had,
that, Lalitha.
yes, I had a lot of fear in mathematics. I thought that I can deal with science, but maths, my God, it
Mhm.
is a little bit difficult. So I thought that this fear has to be removed in the children.
Mhm.
And we all had a kind of a meeting and discussions. And at IWSA, we thought the best way to do this is to kind of this have this. IWSA Ganit Pratiyogita, which is a examination which is based on their own syllabus, and where they learn to kind of estimate or find out what is their knowledge level and how they can improve themselves. So this we are doing it for the past 3 years, and this year also. And this year we have earlier last 2 years we had it only for CBSE board. So all the Anushakti Nagar schools and Tarapur schools were, a part of this, and the students all took part in this. This year, Hyderabad Nuclear Fuel Complex schools are also taking part, and we have also announced this exam for SSC board, Maharashtra board.
That is
Yeah,
good because
this is
otherwise it will
and
be a very privileged lot, you know. I'm
yes,
glad
yes,
you're,
we don't
moving
want
down to
that.
SSC
Yes,
board.
yes, it has to be. In fact, we have to try to find out, the middle level students who are neither too high nor low, whom we can kind of groom and slowly bring them up, and even address the children who are not able to pick up maths and bring them up, because the top level students anyway, they are getting a lot of opportunities in maths olympiads and many places where they are kind of taken care in such a beautiful way that they can shine. But what about these children who are in the middle and in the lower middle? They are getting left out. So our idea was to kind of, you know take them along, because only when the average in the society goes up, then the entire society level of the society goes.
Correct.
So that is very
Yeah, yeah.
important, I feel.
Otherwise,
We
there's no
all
point in making the cleverer, more clever. We
know.
need to bring the
Yes.
average child up.
Yes,
It's a
yes,
lovely
and
thought.
that's yes, Vijay, and that's the exact reason why our science nurture classes are taking place. They have been taking place for the last past 15 years, even before I joined.
Hmm.
Many of my seniors in Indian Women Scientists Association, they had started this program where we call the children from the underprivileged background. They are first generation learners also, many of them
Uh-huh.
from the nearby schools,
Uh-huh.
and we teach them science, maths, English, and now in this last few years we have been teaching them computer skills also. And seventh and eighth standard children, this year we are having sixth and seventh, but earlier we used to have seventh and eighth standard children. They remain with us for 2 years, and after school they come to us, and the first thing that we do is we serve them lunch, because they
Okay.
come back from school very hungry and they
Uh-huh.
cannot concentrate otherwise. Then
Uh-huh.
they have their lunch, and then they spend such happy times with us, 2 hours. We also enjoy, they also enjoy. We plan many experiments, kind of hands-on experiments in science, and that is physics, chemistry, biology, even in maths. And they love their teachers, these children. At the end of 2 years, they don't want to leave us and go. They say, why don't you, madam, why don't you teach us for one more year, like that, they say. But then it's very difficult for us, to go
Correct,
on like
correct.
that.
No, but I think you're catching them at the right age. 12 to
Yes,
13 is a very impressionable age. And that is where they
yes,
can really absorb and act on what they have learned. I
yes,
think that's
yes,
really wonderful. But have there been any
yes.
success stories amongst your science nurture
Yes,
students?
yes,
Have they done well?
there are a few. Yes, there are a few children who have actually tried to go for this joint entrance exam for
Mhm,
IITs,
mhm,
and there are several of them who have done CA exams, and they are working also. So one of them has got into MBBS also,
mhm.
and
Oh.
their parents are from very humble backgrounds.
Mm.
Either they are working in markets, or they are there are some of them who are rickshaw drivers and things like that, and with hardly any kind of background and encouragement in their studies, somehow, I mean, they could catch up. And in fact, we have one video where our children who did from science nurture, they have spoken and they have given their feeling, how they came up and how they felt here. So that was I mean, that itself is a reward for us, you know. We don't want anything else when we are
Absolutely.
working on these children. Yes.
Yes, no, absolutely. I remember when the municipal commissioner of Navi Mumbai had come, one of the
Yes.
science nurture students was telling him about the Sambar story. He had
Yes.
made a big chart and he was
Yes.
explaining about Tanjore, the Maratha invasion there, and how,
Yes.
the king was a artist,
Yes.
and
Vijaya, in that, I think you are the main person. You taught him that.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
remember actually we invited him to see our solar system.
Yes.
And he just
Yes.
told
Yes.
us, please wait, I want to listen to this boy. And very
Yes.
painstakingly, this little child was explaining, yes, that was something
Correct. Yes, that
amazing.
was amazing. And if you remember, I mean, you were the one who drove it, that GOCO, you know,
Yes,
grow, cook, and eat. The
yes,
children used to grow vegetables and many things, and then they were taught how to cook it.
yes,
And, you know, the science of cooking, science of growing, all these things were taught to them. It
yes.
was a very enjoyable time. Yes.
Yeah. Gokos, the science of growing, cooking, and eating. We tried out so many
Yes.
things, different ways
Yes.
of steaming and microwaving, pressure
Yes.
cooking, and we grew.
Yes,
Yes, it was
yes. It's
fascinating.
very interesting because every mode of cooking, you know, it either it enhances the taste, or in some cases the nutrition value may be diminished, or it can be enhanced. All these things, you know, we can teach the children so that they get the best food. You know, they learn how to turn out the best uh, dishes at home rather than ordering from outside. You know.
No, we learned from the
Yeah.
children also. There was some boy, from
Yes.
North India. Most of them were migrants. And we really
Yes.
didn't know how to grow wheat. Rice we knew because Maharashtra we grow like. But he taught
Yes.
us how to grow wheat, which was very
Wheat.
nice learning we ourselves
Yes.
got from the
Yes,
children.
very
Yeah.
true, very true. Yes,
Very nice. Lalita, you're on this apex body, the governing
yes,
body of NCSTC.
yes,
What
yes.
is your role here and what does this organization want to achieve? And what is it
Yeah.
exactly? Can you tell us more about
Ah,
it?
this NCSTC is National Council of Science and Technology Communication. So their entire mandate is to communicate science to masses and to the public, and to generate the same, whatever is the mandate of IWSA, they also have the same mandate to bring scientific temper to society and to bring science to the masses. These are the main mandates of this particular organization. And this is a division of DST, Department of Science and Technology.
Chi.
And this division, earlier there was Vigyan Prasar, as you know,
Yes,
that we did some
yes,
projects with them also.
yes.
Yes. Now this NCSTC is kind of taking these projects, further, and they call for projects from all over India, various, in science communication basically, and to teach children at various levels, children, adults, youth, old people, and women, and rural population, all kinds of sectors they are addressing. And they encourage people, many organizations, to come up with very nice proposals. So our main role as a member of the apex body of this is to go through these proposals and then select the best ones. So right now we are going through that, every 1 month, every month we are meeting some 60 to 70 proposals. We evaluate and then pass them. Or if we want to give some suggestions to improvise, we tell them that you could improvise it in this way. So it goes on, like. So, but National Science Day, Mathematics Day, these things have been now given to the state councils of science and technology, so
Uh-huh.
they are supposed to take care of this. So instead of
Mhm.
giving it to individuals, because they can take it further to the rural areas, spread it out in their entire state. So that is the purpose. Yeah.
Right. It's really
So
wonderful, I would like to know what is your future and what are you planning for future and what is your message to the young people of today?
I have not planned anything, Vijaya, that way. I mean,
Mm,
I take day as the things come every day. I do it. And my message to the youth is just be watchful and alert, because where you can contribute to society and to humanity, to the public or to people around you, those opportunities may come suddenly to you, and you must be very sensitive and alert to pick on them, and it will give immense satisfaction and happiness, because we all the time we are working for ourselves, for our growth, for our happiness. But
correct.
have we ever thought of others happiness, others growth? Only when we think of others, sometime, at least, I'm not saying that all the time you forget yourself and think of others. I'm not saying that, but there should be at least some balance where we forget about ourselves and think about others. I mean, that gives a very great dimension to our life, a great depth, and what you can call a great learning also happens, happiness, because it's a kind of giving back to society again. So
Thank
that
you.
is my message.
Thank you, Lalita. You've given such a lovely definition of happiness. You say happiness is working for others, and only then
Yes,
will achieve, have the sense of contentment in your life. And another
yes,
thing was your value education, which is really
yes,
nice. You started in a small way in Anushakti Nagar or BARC colony, and it spread across India, maybe worldwide also through the Heartfulness Foundation,
yeah,
and
yes,
how you're nurturing, young minds. I simply
yes,
like that, because our future is our children. Unless we
yes,
equip them to take care of this planet, there's no point
yes,
in us handing over a lovely planet to them. We are trying our best, but
yes,
they need the
yes,
skill set to take care of it. And
yes,
that's where you are coming in, taking care of them. And the only thing I find it difficult to swallow is that you did not like maths.
I it was not that I did not like maths, Vijaya.
Huh?
I liked it, but it was, see, that's another message I want to give to the children. Don't be fearful of anything. The
Huh?
moment you have fear, no, it puts a kind of a barrier.
Yes,
Then you
yes.
don't enjoy, and then you don't really learn. So one
True.
has to let down the barriers, let down the
Absolutely.
fears.
Yeah. I
Yes,
mean,
then
we
we
got to
learn.
get rid of our fear and think rationally.
Yes,
I think that is important.
yes.
Thank you very much, Lalita, for being on my show. And I'm thinking, sure that
Thank you.
today's message you have given and all your inputs will go a long way into bettering our planet and the people. Thank you very much. It was
Thank
really
you. And
wonderful
thank you
talking to you.
so much, Vijaya, for giving me this opportunity to speak to you and to people who are going to hear this.
Yes.
And I'm trying to just give my views and what I feel about life in a larger
No, very
sense.
valuable, because you've had a vast experience in the scientific field and spiritual, So that's a very unusual combination, I must say. Very unusual. That is why, I love looking at you. I mean, you're so serene and so gracious. I think combination and so simple. Above all, you're very, very simple in your approach. It is so easy to approach you. Thank you very much. And I
Thank
look
you very much,
forward to
Vijaya.
meeting you soon again. Thank you. Take care
Thank
and
you.
bye bye.
Yeah.